Hi guys. Well, I want to address the departure of Klay Thompson from Golden State. Um, it's been a really devastating news about that. You know, really a lot of speculations about what happened, the reasons, why. So he was left to go to Dallas. So at this point we already know that he's heading Dallas. So next season he's going to play alongside with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. So I think it's gonna be an interesting team to watch. But for the most part, this video it's more about what I think about his departure. I don't know. It's very sad, and I would like to say that thank you, Klay Thompson, for all the memories. Thank you for all what you did for for the franchise, for the team that before you and Steph so got to the team. So and nobody actually would have thought that at some point it's gonna be a very successful team. The Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson and Steph, so became the best offensive power in NBA history. Um, Steph, the best NBA shooter, or the best shooter in NBA history, and Klay is considered the second best shooter in NBA history. Which is kind of a different if you look for the ones that have made more threes, because they're kind of a players that they have played more years than the years that Klay Thompson have played, perhaps. And of course, we have to take into consideration that at the same time, so playing alongside with Steph, you see that in many games, most of the time the ball goes to Steph, even in many situations when Klay Thompson was what used to be wide open. Yeah. So that gives like more shots attempts for Steph than Klay Thompson. So, and what I think about what happened or how I evaluate the situation, I think it was I don't know, it was a bad luck, I should say, because we all know that the Warriors offer 48 millions for 2 years to Klay Thompson. He turned it down, that offer, and he was looking for a better offer for more years, of course, and probably more monies. But for the most part, as far as I know, it was about more years, and probably he thought that he could do something better in this season that allows him to get that contract that he was looking for, in terms of money and in terms of time to remain in the team. But I was unlucky, I guess. I think the way that and everything was going, that the team was not talking about the contracts, just they were just letting the times goes, and that in a long run that was putting some more pressure on Klay. So because he wanted to perform at the highest level possible to be able to get that contract he was looking for, and at the same time, I think that those suspensions from Draymond Green were very bad. So he actually harmed the team. He affected negatively the team. Probably a lot of people's not going to address that, but actually he could be one of the reasons Klay Thompson was struggling, and the entire team actually, because we all remember that there were in many games that were so close, to win again, to win a game, and in many situations also, they suffered in a way that even when a huge lead, they lost that lead in the fourth quarter, and they were unable to close the game, or they were winning, but just with minutes, a couple of minutes remaining on the clock, so they lost the game. And Draymond Green was not playing because he was suspended. So, yeah, all of that situation, I think that somehow affected the entire team, and also, of course, Klay Thompson, which he was part of the team. Because the thing is, you have to understand that a team to manage the place somehow, in some way, and when an important piece of that team is not there, we can understand when that happened because of an injury. But the problem that here, it was not due to an injury. This was cause of Draymond Green behavior. So he was suspended multiple times, and those things affected the entire team, affected Klay Thompson. So, and for the most part, I should say that I feel proud about what Klay Thompson was able to do, because if you see in evaluated the second half of the season, so after the All-Star game, Klay Thompson was able to pretty much come back, because he was sent to the bench, and in many of the games, I should say that most of the games that he plays coming from the bench, he was able to even score more than the actual starters. That was really impressive, and actually, that type of performance put him back to the starters lineup. But unfortunately for him, the very last game, which was an elimination game, he was just not his night. You see, he went 0-10 from 3. So, but people forget that everybody could have a bad night. Bad luck for him, but that he was having that bad night in an elimination game, because if we remember, I think it was against the Knicks that also Stephen Curry. So he went 0-8 from 3, and he was replaced during the game. He didn't play anymore, and that, yeah, he went 0-8 from 3. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that the fact that you have a bad night could happen to anybody. It doesn't matter if it's the best 3-point shooter in NBA history. Steph, he went again, so 0-8, and pretty much at the end of the season. But nobody's talking about that, and I don't know. I think we all would love to see Klay Thompson and Steph, retiring at the same time, probably from the Warriors, just to see, so what can they do, for the remaining years that they have at the highest level. I think that I don't care too much about Draymond Green. I mean, he's a good defender, I should say, but I don't know. I mean, I think he has lately, he has damage, affected pretty negatively the game, the team, and again, part of what happened to Klay Thompson was due to Draymond Green's situation. I think that the Dubs never would be in a kind of situation that they were just kind of really fighting hard to get into the playoffs, when they could easily get into the playoffs. If Draymond Green were being in those games that he was suspended, and again, so in most of those games, the entire team was suffering a lot. They lose. They were losing a lot of games because of they were losing the lead, a huge lead, or they were unable to close the game. And Draymond Green was not there. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to Klay. Thank you, Klay Thompson. So all the best for you though.